Thank you, daughter. Perhaps I treated you too harshly.
Everyone seems to be flocking back to Battlefield 2042, myself included, and I have to say, I'm having a lot of fun. So after 4 years, can we say this game is worth your time until BF6 releases? I'll get to that later. It is so revealing that 2042 has more players on Steam than Warzone, which is free to play, which does go to show how disliked and unpopular COD has been and will be for the coming weeks and months. I mean, did you watch the Black Ops 7 trailer?
They want you afraid. It makes you easier to control.
First things first, the maps. After playing the tight and claustrophobic maps of Battlefield 6, it was so refreshing to experience the grand and open maps of 2042 in Conquest 64 and 128. However, there was still room for meat grinder maps and modes. With the big maps, it gives the game a sense of scale where multiple battles are occurring, allowing one team to take over a section of the map. It is also a lot of fun to use Sundance's wingsuit to help traverse the map. However, boots on the ground are still fun too. Comparing Kaleidoscope to Empire State, both are based in large metropolitan cities, but Kaleidoscope is the actual city map, whereas Empire State feels more like a corridor. Kaleidoscope has vast open areas, skyscrapers to view the entire map, and closer ranged engagements. Thanks to the larger maps, game modes like Conquest, Breakthrough, and Rush feel far less chaotic and claustrophobic. A round of Conquest does not feel as intense or chaotic as the larger maps make it easier to hold an objective, as the enemy would struggle to take the flag you've just spent 5 minutes trying to claim. They would struggle as the flags are far apart, so without a vehicle, it would take time for them to recapture the flag. In addition, the areas are larger and have more verticality, so there can be more strategy in how to hold and claim a point. With Rush, there is less Overwatch and Rivals style funnels and choke points, which does help the game flow better. Whilst it's still hectic, it's not as oppressive as the Battlefield 6 beta, so there can be room to breathe, flank the enemy, or even come up with a plan. One major mechanic that DICE changed was the specialist system. When the game first released, there were no classes, instead there were specialists, each with their own unique active and passive abilities, and let me tell you, the community did not like that change.
To the radio station!
Torches! Get your torches!
So eventually, they reverted back to the 4-class system, but still kept the specialists that aligned with their respective class within said class. Once you choose a class, you can choose what specialist you want, and you can choose their abilities such as Sundance's wingsuit. Keeping the unique abilities was the right call, as players would often gravitate towards the same gadgets within a certain class, making everyone feel the same. In Battlefield 3 and 4, people would often use the medbags and defibs, making the assault class feel like that one-trick pony, as everyone is providing heals and revives. However, thanks to the specialists, it can help make your kit and abilities feel unique, and you can have synergies with different abilities. For example, using the C5 and wingsuit, you can deploy the suit, move across the battlefield at a fast pace, land on top of enemy armor, and destroy it using the C5.
Enemy taking K. Look close. Vehicle killed.
Speaking of destruction, a big problem that this game has is the complete lack of it. The maps and environments seem relatively indestructible, which limits the sightness and options the player has. It really undermines the engineer class, as in the game, they simplified his kit by giving him fewer rocket launchers. In Battlefield 4, he had several launchers to choose from, which ranged in damage, rocket travel speed, free fire, and lock-on. My personal favourite was the Shrour, a laser-guided rocket launcher, but in 2042, he has anti-tank and anti-air launchers, which are incredibly dull to use and gives him very little options. However, considering that the destruction is relatively low, it makes the explosive experience a little less intense. So, is 2042 worth the time and money? I'd say yes. By the time I'm recording this video, there is a discount on Steam where you can pick it up for pretty cheap. Despite its flaws, DICE have improved the game to be a passable experience and can keep you entertained enough until Battlefield 6 launches. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. This is Zach, not Zach, signing off. Please remember to like, favorite, and subscribe.